Hit music for Lagos.
102.3 Max FM.
But then, before we even move on from this conversation, my friend and I we're talking about this, and we're like, it would be nice for us to just go to Shrine one day and we'll see Seun and Damian performing this song together.
Live.
Do you think that would happen? Like, will you
but
bring it to Lagos?
That's more likely than not to happen. You know, it's definitely more likely than not. You know, because I know he wants to come. I want to bring him, but we have to also find the timing. With the beginning of my projects, my schedule this year has been ridiculous. You know, I was going to say something just now, but if I say it now, my sister will kill me. She hears it, so I can't say it now because I'll just wait till the time. So she kills me then. I still need to live some few days. You know, I want to enjoy some few months of fresh air before, you know, I die. You know?
You will not die, you are beg.
I'm telling you, I know what is going to. I am telling you. Don't be surprised. My sister is going to kill me.
But then, like, why this particular message?
Plus, how did that happen? And first of all, why did it even take so long?
As soon as we realized that, you know, I was like, okay, we're going to fix that. You know, our teams are quite close as well. Damian is a really good brother to me, and it didn't take a lot to make this happen. As historic as it is, you know, because I think, you know, really we've made something historical. You know, our fathers never got to work together. Our elder brothers never got to work together. But I think we've broken the jinx. You know, we've taken it one step further. But I think my brother and Ziggy did a show together before. But we've taken it a step further to actually make music, you know, and connect these dynasties in the way it really should be connected, you know. So yeah, I'm really happy about that.
Because I remember when
we're oppressors in waiting.
I remember when he did one Instagram live video when he was speaking about the fact that, I'm sorry to bring this up, the whole Very Dark Man situation, where he was like, why are people arresting Very Dark Man? If you have an issue with him, sue him and stuff like that. And then this morning, as at then, a lot of people were against him and arguing and saying he should be arrested and blah, blah, blah. Now this morning, all those people are now fighting Tony Abraham and saying, why did you arrest somebody? You should sue him. And it's like, you see that you are not on the same path.
I'm happy the people are learning. The issue is that the people are being deceived by people who deceive them but are not being deceived themselves. You understand? So many people play ignorant to the gallery, act like they don't know what is going on, you know, just jump into the noise with the people, you know, to act like, oh, we are on your side. And this is what our elders do here. And it's very dangerous, you know. Elders should be brave enough to look at young people in the eye and say, stop this.
Yeah.
You can't be doing this. Look at the Chinese government, for example. They just banned the flaunting of luxury on social media. That nobody's allowed to show off their wealth. Whether you have it or not, you can't show it on social media anymore. That is an elder's move. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I don't do right or wrong in the issues of national discussion, because national discussion is life and death. We can't be doing right or wrong. Is this thing killing people? Is it not killing people? Is it harming people? This must be our first question. But we seem not to have that question. Let me go back to what I was saying to you about conditioning. You know, as intelligent as we say we are as human beings, one phenomena is very funny, right? If you take a lion, and the three of us here raise this lion among us, you know, all his life, this lion will not eat cooked food. It will still eat raw meat with blood. It will roar every day. It will never learn speech. You know, it will never wear clothes. It will never want to bath every day and rub cream and spray perfume. It will not pick up any of our mannerisms. It will be a lion. But if you take a baby human, and for some reason the lions don't eat it when they put it in their midst, that baby will grow up. It will roar. It will walk on all fours. It will eat raw meat and drink blood. It will hunt. It will communicate like lions. It will grow its fingers and claw things, and so we are so susceptible to programming, and the elites know that, to conditioning, and they condition us.
Why it looks like it's not ending anytime soon.
Cannot kill your God. You know, it is impossible for people to stop something that they believe in. For you to stop that thing, you must first of all stop believing in it. You can't leap. You can't just stop it but still believe in it. You understand?
Yeah.
So many of the toxic things in our society, we've been educated to believe in them. You understand? Like, and people think it's a Nigerian thing. I say to people, it's not a Nigerian thing. If you study global current issues and you study the history of this world, especially the economic development of societies, you see that, you know, we are not different from any other group or any other nation or any other people in this pattern. We are all educated by our elites. That's the issue, you know, with most countries. You know, you are educated by those people that are your enemies. And what they do is that they make sure that their education makes you like them. That's their biggest weapon. That by the time you pass through the educational system, you come out thinking like your oppressors. That's why everybody, me too, this I struggled with this for a long time. Why would they get mad that he's suffering? See somebody coming, you know, and you are just being rude and mean to the person.
Exactly.
Like, aren't we in this together? Where is this? Then I realized. Then I read a book called The Pedagogy of the Oppressed by one of the greatest men that ever lived in this world in terms of liberation work. And the man's name is Paulo Freire. He's a Brazilian. And he wrote this book, The Pedagogy of the Oppressed. And in this book, basically, he enlightened me on that. Okay, the banking system of education that we go through is a system that puts something in your head and asks you to regurgitate it. It is not education in as much as it is indoctrination. So, for example, he said it is A for apple and B for ball. It might as well have been A for Africa, B for brotherhood, C for community. You understand what I'm saying?
Imagine growing up with that as a mindset.
Exactly.
It does something to...
It is not a coincidence also that in the classroom you are meant to be tested on this information that you are given, right or wrong, especially we as African people. Imagine being told Mungo Park discovered River Niger. What is that telling an African child? What is that drilling into your psyche? That you are incapable of discovery. Because your ancestors lived there. In fact, they helped him chart it. Yet they are teaching you that he discovered it. You understand what I'm saying? So this is programming. Human beings, we are susceptible to conditioning in a way that we as African people are not made to see, because our elites don't want us to be educated that way to see our issues. You know, so conditioning, you know, is a big part of this thing. So this whole testing, test them, you are first, you are second, you are third, all these things is for a reason. You know, it's to create competition.
When I saw the teaser, you know, for it, like I went bonkers. Like I was like, yes, you know, it is about time that happened. And, you know, that got me thinking as well, because, you know, the Kuti family is one of the greatest music families in the world. You know, emanating right there from Africa. We're proud, you know, that, you know, Nigeria is repping on that front. But we also have like a lot of, you know, also amazing, great music families. You've done one already, you know, with the Marleys. I'd like to also, you know, connect these families together. You know, we have the Jacksons, you know, the Cyruses, you know, which one, you know, are you really also...
my dad and Bob Marley kind of stand out on this aspect. So for me, I wasn't thinking beyond these two people. Like, you know, for me, every other big musical family, you know, with all due respect, you know, they stood for what they stood for. I think why we connect so much with the Marleys, you know, is because of what our families have sacrificed on behalf of the art that we believe in, and also for the people that we live with, you know. So I think that for me, but now that you've mentioned, I mean,
because I think this meets, you know, for
the next dynasty I have to work with is in my family. I've not done anything with my brother or my nephew, so that's the next. That's the have to look inward. That's the next time we'll be kicking ourselves, you know. So I think we're going to rectify that, you know. That's the next thing.
Every music that you make, there's a purpose. You've never, you know, put out music or even, you know, step out to say things without, you know, a purpose driving it behind. You know, I'm a big follower of, you know, MOP. You know, I'm a big follower, you know, of, you know, also, you know, you yourself, you know, when you get out there and you share, you know, all of the illuminations that you share for the people. So I know there's also a purpose behind this one. What is the purpose behind it?
The purpose of the whole project as a whole. The title of the album is Heavier Yet Lays the Crownless Head. You know, I could go into the semantics of that, like, you know, heavier yet being like, you know, like the old funk slang for when your music is heavy, like it's heavy, you know, and I'm bringing a new album, so this album is heavier yet, but it's just half of what the album title really is, which is a play on the fact that, you know, we always say heavy lays the head that wears the crown. You know, yeah, we hear that, you know, but heavier yet lays the crownless head. that we the people must now begin to look beyond the excuses that the elites of this world give us for not performing their duties and their responsibilities. You know, the excuse the elders give us as well for not performing their duties and their responsibilities. Talking about what are the youth doing? With what resources are we meant to do what? With what resources, you know, with what experience?
Yeah.
You know, you're supposed to be the ones to create what we do. You know, that's how nations work. You know, so this song also is part of that story. You know, because the whole project, when it drops in October 4, will make more sense as a story. This is the volume 1. I'm still going to do the volume 2 probably next year. You know, Heavier Yet Lives the Crownless Head, volume 2, the final part of the story. You know, for me, in terms of people must begin to embrace their own innate value. We must move beyond that time in Africa where we believe as African people we are not valuable if we cannot afford European things. You know, this is the mantra that the ruling political and business elites want us to believe to mask their failures, you know. So they want you to believe that they are something because they are the best and most valuable people because they can afford the best and most valuable thing, regardless of their character, regardless of their lack of accomplishments, really. You know, to have a nation with so much resources and so much manpower and talent, and not to really be able to bring that nation to the 21st century, that young people in Africa cannot really fulfill their true potential. You know, no matter your dream, you know, you better add some skit making. And I mean, we live in a country where nation building jobs are being sidelined for service industry jobs. Accountants are becoming cake makers, lawyers are becoming tailors, you know, engineers are now making shoes instead of building bridge. You know, I mean, at least they're giving a heel, you put bridge
And all of
between
this
your
is
heel.
because people want to survive.
Yeah,
you know?
people have to
People
survive. But
want
when
to
they don't, you know, if there was a national development project going on in this country, these people would not have to do that.
Yeah.
Their potential will shine through brighter.
Exactly. Our engineers will building roads, building bridges. We don't need to go out and call some white man to still be building road in Africa in 2024.
Crazy.
You know, directing Africans. Oh, sorry. That's my flask. Directing Africans to carry this thing, put it there. You put this one there. Join this one together. I mean, come on. We graduate thousands of engineers every year from our higher institutions. Where's the investment in their capabilities? You know, and then we complain about Jackpot, you know. The only problem I have about Jackpot is, you know, the Jackpot of no return. That's the one I don't like. Yeah, go and make yourself better. Go and make yourself fulfill your potential out there. Is your resources there? You know, I always tell the Europeans when because I have a lot of racists that come to me and say, why are you coming to our country? You know, even some Africans, stupid, crazy Africans say that to me too. Why do you go to Europe and perform to be a singer? Because Europe comes to take my resources. The moment Europe and America stop taking resources from Africa for free, we too will stop going there. We are not migrating, you know, we are following our resources, you know. If resources, if it's not working in our country, you know, we want to go and see where it's working. We want to go and see where it's working. You know, it's our right. You come, you take it's a spiritual, no, I'm telling you, you know, it sounds like a joke, but there's a spiritual attachment between the people and their resources, you know. You even call it fossil fuel to some extent. What is fossil? You know, dead ancestors, basically. You know, you're sucking our dead ancestors out of the ground. You know, you think we're not going to follow it to see what it is doing. But we are coming by sea, by air, by desert, by road. Anyway we are entering, we are swimming. You know, they see our rafts.
Bro, you know, heavier yet is the head, you know, without the crown, which means it's time for the people also to do more. You know, that's I perceive that, you know, from when I'm hearing that. But let's play this song and then we'll come back to this conversation. But then, you know, talking about, you know, that national issue, I want to bring it to a more current time. But let's address this issue because it's something that is really current right now. And like I said, you know, Fouls was there in the studio and we had a conversation about it. And I said that, you know, I have a proposition that first and foremost, if the politicians really want to pass a message to the people that they feel the pain that the people are going through, they should have their salary. Now, Faust took an extension to it. He said, matter of fact, why is it that politicians don't have another job? Why must politics be their job and not like a social service? Now, from you, I want to ask you, what is the, you know, in your own calibration, what do they need to do, the leaders and the politicians, what do they need to do to really show the people that we feel the pain that you feel and we want to be a part of this work with you and change this country for better?
Politics is a professional job. You know, if you serve your people, you should be able to give your family good education, but that's the education that you have also created
For other people.
Bless you.
through the service that you are giving. You know, why should the Minister of Education's children or the Commissioners of Education of any state or anybody in the Board of Education in any state, why should their children be in private school? Talk more of flying abroad. You know, this should be against the law, basically. You know, these are the kind of things, you know, Minister of Health cannot be
Flying
abroad to anybody in government can be flying abroad because any service they provide us must be what they use
As well.
Yeah.
So you feel like this is another, step that they must, maybe put a law in this country.
Yeah, that is the neglect, because you have to understand, as I said, we have to be class conscious. You must understand that both the business and political elites are from the same class. Their interests align. You understand? It is good for them to defund the public schools because their friends own the private schools and they can make money now from education. Instead of them to be innovative and do research and development, they can be gatekeepers and be billionaires that way. So they can defund public health and build hospitals and make money from people sick because you must sick. They confiscate all the land, grow food, and sell you food because you must eat. This is the business that they like. Take license to give you phone because you must use phone. They don't take it the step further to create the phone that you want to use. No. They don't want to do that one. You must take license to show you the TV because you must watch TV. They will take it, but they don't want to take it the step further and make that TV also. And until they are able to invest and be elite in that.
Hit music for Lagos.
102.3 Max FM.